the U.S. government is an enterprise that spends or is going to spend $3.5 trillion and will take in $2.5 trillion about in this fiscal year. Before the crisis, it was upbraided by the General Accountability Office for having misplaced about $60 billion in the accounts. About 11 years in a row, GAO can't give an auditor's opinion on the government's accounts because they are rather a mess. So that was the state of affairs before the massive intervention. Now, whoever it was who said there's a lot of ruin in the nation spoke to calamity howlers like me. One must be careful about jumping too quickly to the conclusion that this math doesn't work. Math doesn't work, and yet we go on. However, the dollar, it seems to me, is the question. Now, the Federal Reserve prints them, and you can listen to the Federal Reserve speeches, but you're mostly advised to look at its balance sheet. It's a bank, and it has assets and liabilities. Liabilities are dollar bills, and it creates them in plain sight. It discloses the results every Thursday, 4:30. Around Labor Day, the Fed's balance sheet footed to about $965 billion. Today, it's about $2.5 trillion in round numbers. Never before has the Fed done what it's doing now. And I think never before has the world been quite so sanguine about a central bank doing what the Fed is doing now. This is an extraordinary exercise. If the Fed wanted to be like the Reichsbank in Weimar Germany, it'd be doing what it's doing now. So to me, there's a clear and present danger surrounding not only the dollar but also other paper currencies. The Bank of England is expanding much faster than the Fed. These numbers look like typos. The Bank of England has year-over-year expansion of its assets about 200%, a little less than that maybe. Extraordinary. So the world over, central banks are printing money as if it were going out of style. Now, the thinking, I think, in the central banking circles is if they all do it, nobody will notice. So that's where the gold price comes in. That is the telltale. That is what will signal that the world is losing its confidence in the institution of managed currencies and in the mortal human beings that would pretend to know the right interest rate and the right amount of money. It seems to me that we're coming up to a crisis of managed currencies, not merely of the dollar, but certainly the dollar itself is in a very dramatic juncture. So, this is a great country. Its strengths are like too numerous to mention in a short speech. But it issues a currency, the value of which intrinsically is nothing. It is faith-based. And the risk to me now is that this massive kind of across the aisle, bipartisan embrace of statism is going to result in a terrific inflation once things settle down. So I hope I'm wrong a little bit. But that to me is it's not as if this country is going broke. This country is producing so many dollars that one must begin to wonder.
Harold, we got a question.